welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you part 4 of my colouring book collection. If you've not seen the earlier parts of this series, then I'll put one of those clicky things up in the corner here, and that will take you to a playlist that will have all of the parts of my collection. So let's get cracking. I will just move some of these away and we can get started. This is just a little mini one, so I thought I'd get it out the way quick. Basically, I'm just trying to get through everything now. I'm hoping for just one more part. I say hoping. I've really been enjoying filming this, but I want to get onto my next series of videos, which will be all my coloured pages and works in progress. So I think I'm just going to have one more part to this collection, and that will be the remainder of my colouring heaven. It will have my mandala books and things like that, the odds and ends, and of course it'll have my Disney books. So if you want to make sure you don't miss that, do hit subscribe. If you touch the little bell icon, then that will send you a notification of when the video is uploaded. Anyway, so this is just one of a little mini book. It's almost not a colouring book, it's a bit of a cheat. I got this in a Prismacolor, it was like a Prismacolor starter set, so it had some pencils in it and a pencil sharpener and a blender pencil, but it just had this tiny little colouring booklet. But it does have pictures from the time chamber and, you know, cats in Paris, so it's got a few odd single pages from like proper books, so I thought I'd just throw it in here. It's just a little thing. And then the next one that I quickly want to get out of the way with before I start on colouring books proper. This is Home Sweet Home. It's a handcrafted colouring book. Now this is actually a little cheapy one that I picked up when I was on holiday in Florida, and I went to Ollie's. This cost 99 cents. So if you've seen my other videos where I got cheap books from Ollie's, I see them. They're probably something that I wouldn't buy. Well, I know I wouldn't buy if they was full price, but as they're only 99 cents, they're good for trying out, you know, different ideas. Or basically I only have to colour in one picture from a book like this, and I consider it that I've got my money's worth. So I tend to use them when I want to be a bit experimental, but don't want to risk, you know, losing a good colouring page. I mean, there's a couple of okay pages in here anyway, so that is that one. It's the travel edition, so it's, you know, it's smaller as well, quite handy. So what should we do next? I will do my colouring heavens. No, not colouring heavens. I will do my creative havens. I see so many people, or hear so many people who get creative haven and colouring heaven tongue-tied with each other, and it's like creative heaven and colouring haven, and anyway, I've only got 3 creative haven books. I've got this one, which you won't be surprised to find out that I got this from Ollie's for 99 cents. So I got that a couple of years ago. Apparently they had a huge outlet of creative haven books. I just picked up one. They did have a few others. I talk about regret that I didn't buy all the rest, but I was just like, I was still fairly new, and I don't know why. They was 99 cents. I don't know why I didn't buy them. I'm kicking myself now. But anyway, so this is Nature Mandalas. I'm going for a bit of a mandala fad at the moment anyway, so I really need to get back to this book. But these are nature ones, so generally with these they have the animal in the middle and then an outside pattern. Hummingbirds, things like this. I really like the Creative Haven books. They have quite nice paper, and they're all perforated if you want to tear them out. I never do, but I quite like having the option. It's just a matter of principle, I think. But I really get on with the Creative Haven paper, and I like them. So yeah, that is Nature Mandalas by Creative Haven. Then you may have seen these two. I've only just received these. I got them in a colouring book haul. If you've not seen that, I'll link that. If I don't link it up in the corner, I'll put it down in the description. But yeah, and I have also filmed flip throughs I'm not sure if I've got them uploaded yet, but if they're not, they will be uploaded very soon if you want to see flip throughs of either of these. I'm not coloured in them, obviously, because I've only had them for like a week. But I really like this one. It's not my normal style. I mean, I do like flowers, that's certainly my style, but I don't usually have things with quotes in. But I'm looking forward to colouring this because, as I was saying in my colouring haul video, I really like the colour. Try that again. I really like the cover. That's it. Words. Good. I like the cover on this because of the pastels, so I'm going to do this as a pastel themed book. I've never done a themed book before, usually because I'm so slow at colouring anyway. It'll take me forever to colour in this book. But yeah, a nice pastel theme. I know, I really like that. And then we have this one, which is Fantasy Designs, and this is by Pocock. Again, I love the style, the sort of sketchy style of this. Really looking forward to getting stuck into this. The illustrations that they've coloured in so far, because they always give you an example on the inside front cover and back cover, are quite watercoloury, but I've never tried watercolour on this paper, so I might give that a try. But otherwise, this is definitely a pencil book. I think I just love the sort of, yeah, I can just see the colour palettes of being sort of really muted earthy tones, much like they've done these. So yes, that is Fantasy Designs by Pocock, and those are the only Creative Haven books I've got. I need to add more. I've got a dozen on my wish list. I just haven't got time to colour the books I've got, so I'm trying to not buy new ones just yet until I've got some more out of the way with. Right, next. So this one I'm going to do, actually, there's another one. I'm going to do my Hannah Lynn books. So this does cross over with Colouring Heaven in this stage. This is my first Hannah Lynn book that I ever got, and it's also my first Colouring Heaven book that I ever got. So, book of firsts. I hadn't been colouring for that long when I got this. 3 months or something. And I picked it up from Sainsbury's, which is a supermarket in the UK. It's the only one I've ever bought off the shelf, apart from one of the collection books which come out quarterly. I usually buy them in WH Smith's or something. But yeah, there's some really nice images. This is what introduced me to Hannah Lynn. Until then, everybody was like, Hannah Lynn, she's amazing. And I'm like, oh, she's just faces. And I'm not, as you know, I'm not big into portrait style colouring. So I didn't really see what the fuss was about. And then I saw this on the shelf and I thought, why not? Let's give it a go. And then I got it. I found out what the fuss is about, because there's just something, I don't know, they're kind of a feel-good pictures. It's hard to put your finger on what it is that makes them so appealing. But I'd say they're quite simple, but obviously pictures like this are busy and there's lots to do. But there's just like a joy to them. Quite simple in concept, I suppose. But yes, so that's my fairy tale special. They did have one exclusive design in this, and that was that one, exclusive to Colouring Heaven. I must do that, but I'm going to photocopy that before I do it in case I mess it up, because obviously it's not in any of her other books. And also this issue is sold out on the Anthem Publishing website. I'll leave a link to Anthem in the description, but where you can buy individual issues. But this one is sold out, and once Colouring Heaven sell out, they never get more issues back in stock. That's it, they're gone. And then this is another one from Colouring Heaven for Hannah Lynn. This was pretty much, I think, her entire steampunk special book, plus they had some exclusive designs for Colouring Heaven. There's one I've taken a copy of that, because that's one of the exclusive designs, and I thought if I mess that up I'll be gutted. So I'm going to do that on the photocopy. I forgot I'd printed that out actually. But yeah, this is pretty much the steampunk book, which I actually have in PDF form as well, because I bought some packages. I'll explain when I get to the PDFs. But yes, this is the steampunk special, and then there's a number of images that are exclusive to Colouring Heaven that are kind of woven into, yeah, see these at the front are the exclusive ones. Yeah, so the PDFs. Now I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 10 PDFs here. I do also have the Halloween and the Christmas books that she has, but I did them in earlier parts of this collection because I broke it down to Christmas and Halloween books. But I've got 10 PDFs here. Now how I handle my PDFs is I just print out the front page of the book, and then if there is a index of thumbnails, then I will print that so that I know what's there, because basically I just want to save space. So that's how I handle my PDFs. Here's the Steampunk Darlings again. If you're wondering why I have this twice when it's in, I've got a Colouring Heaven that's virtually the same. Also, I've got things like the Fairy Tale Princesses, which have a lot of overlap with the other Colouring Heaven one. The reason I have them is because if you are on Hannah's mailing list, she will send out, every time she launches a new book, I think it pretty much is, or a Kickstarter, she will sometimes give away one of the pictures that are inside her new book. And if you go to download that, then she'll send you an offer. Now, if you go to her website, you can buy these book bundles, PDF bundles. There's usually like 3 or 4. But if you download the pictures, the free pictures, there's usually a special offer in where she'll throw in an extra book into the bundle. And that's why I have all the PDFs. I think when I added it up, I bought them on 4 separate occasions. Or no, 3 separate occasions. So 12 books, 3 separate occasions of 4 books. And I think I worked out that each book cost me sort of £3 to buy the PDF. So I was okay buying duplicates of things like Steampunk or some of the fairy tale ones, because they're really nice pictures anyway, and there's a good chance that I will print them out and do them again. So yeah, I won't go into huge detail with Hannah's images because most people know them. And if you don't, then I will do flip throughs of these eventually anyway. I will link below, there is a playlist on my channel with all the flip throughs that I've done. There's not very many in there at the moment because I've only just got started, but eventually I'm going to have flip throughs of every single book in my collection, and they will be in that playlist. So yes, that is my Hannah Lynn. And then I've included this one here because I don't know why, but every time I think of Hannah Lynn, I also kind of think of Michaelina. It's a very different style, and yet also in some ways it's the same. So we have these caricature girls in, you know, usually in poses. Now, Michaelina usually sells her books are quite expensive. I think she's on Etsy. She doesn't sell on Amazon, or she didn't last long time I looked. And the PDFs and the books are quite expensive. I mean, they're well worth it because she's a fine artist, but I'd never got around to buying them. And then Colouring Heaven did a book of her work, and I was over the moon. And it's a nice mixture as well, because some are grayscale. I mean, they are quite dark grayscale, so if that scares you, then yeah, there's a few that might scare, you know, put you off in here. But there's plenty. It's about, I think it's about half and half. There's the line art and the grayscale. So I really love this issue, and I need to colour in more in it. I say that for a lot of my books. But yeah, Gothic's Fairy Special, and that's Michaelina. Talking of grayscale, I thought I would do a few of my Colouring Heavens as well that are heavily grayscale, and the other reason for that, apart from just talking about Michaelina, is obviously this month's Colouring Heaven, if you've not seen it yet, is a grayscale issue. So I thought I would do all of my Colouring Heavens grayscales that are here. Now, Some people dislike grayscale, some people love grayscale. I'm okay with either. I don't dislike it. I'm not intimidated by it. If anything, I find before I did my first grayscale image, I was intimidated by it until I realised that grayscale is actually easier than line art, because all the shading is done for you. So if you just get a marker, which you can in Colouring Heaven because the pages are all one-sided, you can just go over in a marker and not worry about shading or anything. The only thing to bear in mind with grayscale is the colour that you want. You need to go a couple of shades lighter in your head of whatever ink. So if you're putting down using an alcohol marker or something and you wanted this to be dark blue, then pick a couple of shades lighter than you want, because this grayscale is going to pull down the darkness. And I think that's probably the mistake many people make, because they put down a dark colour and then it goes too dark or turns almost black, because they've chosen the colour they want in their head in the exact form of the marker without taking into account that the grayscale will pull down the colour even more. So I was really excited to get this one, the Colin Thompson. It's based off of puzzle illustrations. Can't wait to get stuck into that. Then another one of the grayscale ones that I've got is the Gothic Alchemy Special. This one is gorgeous. I have coloured in it, but honestly, I look at these images. I could just look at the images for this. They are lovely. So I'm almost persuaded not to colour any more in it. I don't know, but it'd be a shame. I do like to colour in my books. Whilst I'm happy to have books in my collection that I pull off the shelf and just admire the art of, I don't buy them for that reason. I buy them ultimately with the hope of colouring them in, even though I do enjoy them uncoloured as well. So I'd feel almost a little bit guilty leaving this uncoloured. But yes, Gothic Alchemy Special. If anybody's interested in how to do grayscale colouring, let me know. I mean, I've not done any colour alongs or anything like that yet because my channel is so new. But in the future, at some point, I'll be starting to put up normal videos. So if people want to see me colouring grayscale, then let me know. So this one is a grayscale. This is the one from Ennis Guerrero, the Dark Fantasy Special. It's grayscale, but on a much lighter scale. I mean, it does have a few dark areas, but in general, the grayscale in this has a much lighter touch than the other two books that we've just looked at. I really like this. I've not coloured in this one yet, but I would like to. I'm not big on people, but some of the faces are quite small, so I think I could get away with it. I mean, that one I could do that for Christmas in July. It's once upon a... Oh, that's probably why I've tagged it. Look, I've got a little sticky in there. I probably thought at some point I can do that for Christmas, and then I forgot. Yeah, memory overrated. Another grayscale-ish. Again, this is in the lighter grayscale category. So this was the Fantasy Princess Special. I love this one, Princess B. And I like her as well. She makes me think of a pirate. Oh, Pirate Princess. I was going to say, she makes me think of a pirate because she's got an eye patch. Good job. Again though, this is much, I mean, there's grayscale there, but it's a lighter hand for the most part than things like Busy World. And then we have the Momo Girl one, which I was really happy to get this one because the book is beautiful. If you've not seen the Momo Girl books, I encourage you to do a search on, because there's loads of flip throughs. It's Girls with Poem and I can't remember the other one. But she does beautiful pictures, but I'm not that great at colouring. I've been bold there. I've just done the alcohol marker. When I do skin tones, it's always usually with alcohol marker if I can get away with it as the base, and then I just put, you know, a bit of shading over the top. But it's a beautiful book, so I'm really glad to have this, because I would never spend the money on a Momo Girl book, because they're from Korea, I think, and they're hardback and they're good quality paper, so they're quite expensive, and then you've got to have it shipped, and they're quite expensive books. And like it, yes, but there's a limit on how much I'm prepared to spend on something I like if I'm not gonna be colouring in it a lot. And these types of books, while I will colour in them now and again, then they tend to fall a long way down my list of priorities of what I'm going to be buying. Yeah, happy with that one. Another one that is the World of Princesses special. This was a nice book as well. Colouring Heaven have brought some really cool artists on the radar, because I'd never heard of Fabiana Tre, but again, we've got the grayscale just on the neck and in the flowers and places like that. Yeah, that's my World of Princesses special. And then the last of my Colouring Heavens for the moment, I'll finish off the rest of it tomorrow. Then, but for today, the Dark Crystal, because we're on the kind of, there's some of these are line art, because this book is actually done by different artists, so you can see they're different styles, but some of it has got darker grayscale in it as well. I've never actually seen the Dark Crystal. Don't hate me. But yeah, that is the Dark Crystal special. So if you're enjoying this flip through so far of my collection, then I do appreciate a thumbs up. It would really help the channel, especially as I'm new. I need all the help I can get. Right, so these are a couple of my books that I got quite early on in my colouring journey. I think I got them just from the local supermarket, so they would have been cheap. I mean, they retail for £7.99, but I suspect I probably only paid £1.50 or £1.99, something like that. There was a third one there as well, which I think was Mandalas, and at the time I wasn't into Mandalas. I would have bought that now if it was, but as it is, I only bought the Wilderness and Aquatica. So these are mostly, I've seen some of the pictures in here on other books, other people's flips and colourings and stuff, so I think they're probably just, you know, Shutterstock type images, but they was great to cut my teeth on when I didn't really know what things I liked and experimenting on. I know a bit. I mean, these books are okay. I'd still probably I'll still go back and colour some of these now, something like that, if I was after something that I didn't really want to think about too much. That's almost like a mandala, isn't it? So yeah, that's the Aquatica one. Whether I'd buy them now at this point, I don't know, but at the time they was a great buy. Bees. And this is the Wilderness one. So I'm not sure, I'm looking at the thickness of the book, I'd say there's probably about 45 beautiful illustrations. So I love this little bird. I'll have to do him one day. But yeah, we've just got Zen Doodly, Zen Tangly, Panda type illustrations. Just had that one where I'd never used watercolours before, so I thought I'd give it a crack. Books like that, like this, are perfect for doing things like that. Again, like that other small pocket book I had, it's great for experimenting on without having any worries. Okay, so I think for the last book for today, most people will recognise this. It's Mine Summer Spazia Gang by Rita Berman. Most people have got a Rita Berman book somewhere in their collection because she's quite a popular one. This is the only one of hers I've got. I do want the others though. So just for reference, I like these books because this is the size of the book. So they're great for, you know, when you've got a picture that I mean, they're good quality pictures, but because they're smaller, it means you don't have to, it's not such a marathon to get through the picture. So she has a quirky style and likes cats, at least in this book. So I've done a few pictures in here, but nothing much. I really should get back to it, considering the pictures in here are smaller and so are quicker to do. And I'm a slowpoke when it comes to colouring. If I'm not doing a mandala or a colour by numbers, then I'm slow. If I'm doing something with pencil, then I'm really slow. Anyway, that is the last of my collection for today. As I was saying earlier, I'll probably have just one more part in this collection, which will be my mandala books, and the rest of my Colouring Heavens and my Disney books will all be in part 5. So be sure to subscribe, and then you will see when I post that last video. If you enjoyed this, I would appreciate a thumbs up, as I said earlier. I've repeated myself a lot today, aren't I? Sorry about that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.